Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to League Play Day number 4 at the Throwdown Studios. And I've got the old Yummy Cheese Man here and Corey Lord, the good sir. So we're going to get stuck into it. Love decks, they're hot already. 3-0.
They're hot, but are they Darksided beating hot? Like, that's always the question. Will they get Darksided in this series?
I think the odds are pretty good. It's called Darksided for a reason. I just want to briefly touch on the fact that I feel bad for Jam not getting one game in that guaranteed entry. But going up against Darksided, it's a very different ballgame.
Yeah, and Love decks are in a situation where they just need to get one game now. They're not out like they were thinking when they did before they 3-0 Jam Gaming. So one game is essentially going to guarantee them through. 2 will win. So on the opposite side, Darksided are playing for that first seed.
Yeah, they've already kind of got it loosely locked in based upon the performances of the rest of the teams. But if they can lock in, a good win here, they've just smashed everyone
Would
out.
they kind of want to get a good win here because they have Chiefs later on? But throughout this season, we've seen some great performances from the Darksided crew, especially Express in day 1. And I think Shady's had a very consistent performance.
Yeah, Shady being consistent. He hasn't done too many standout plays. Don't get me wrong, he's done some great snipes from the corner. But Express is that disgusting shooter with an insane accuracy.
Yeah, I think when we're looking at these two matches, or two teams as well, in Darksided's form, we really want to look at Dumbo, because when they lost on day number 2, it really felt like he wasn't quite keeping up with the pace.
Yeah, and playing very safe rotationally, coming back, playing in the goals when they're missing the opportunity to choke them out, which is what they're doing a lot in the midfield.
The Darkside won both of their games yesterday, so the only game that they've dropped so far in the league play is against Simple Physics.
Yeah, that's a bit of a devastating blow. But talking about the day of revenge, this is Monty Connor up against Darksided, the team that kicked him for and replaced him with Dumbo. And so now Monty Connor has a chance to prove himself and say, yeah, I should have been on that roster. I should be at the top. Well, now I've found a better roster.
What do you think? Who are you going to go for?
I said I've been a big believer in the Love decks, but Darksided have had a good season so far. The numbers favor them. I think it's actually going to be a 2-1 to Darksided.
So you're going with the brain, not the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. I think it's going to be 2-1 based off Love Deck's performance. Today, before going into it, I had 3-0 on my prediction sheet.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm going to give them a little bit more credit.
Did I.
Yeah. Yeah, but they've played pretty well, so I think it's either going to be a 2-1.
Well, I'm going to go with my heart. That's all I can do, especially if my hair's pink.
You got hurt last time, though, by Daisu.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Be careful. Don't risk it.
I took the night off. We scoured the streets of Sydney. And then
Who are you going to unfriend on the Love decks if they lose?
all of them. Every single one. But of course, Love decks. So I'm going with the heart. So, yeah. And going to talk about them. Because they 3-0 Jam, and I think Jam is a quality side.
Yeah.
So I believe in the hype. If you're gonna go 3-0 against Jam, who has Walcott, the rookie of last year, I think Love decks are gonna surprise everyone and take on Darksided.
Well, Jam were the team that could potentially have gone up into that top 4, top 3, and now it looks like they're unable to, as they're sitting just outside of confirmed qualification.
Yeah.
So it's a big win for them, and now we're gonna have to.
Yeah, because of Love decks, if they can continue this momentum, Korea, they will secure themselves a spot in the gauntlet.
Yeah, and they're about to get Darksided by Darkside. I was worried that Dumbo would be sitting too far back, and he's already run up forward. I have faith.
We all have faith. I have faith in the decks. Come on, boys. Let's see what's going on. So Darksided, Love decks. It's all the cards are down. There's Express. He's looking to get in position. That's the man you got to keep your eye on moving forward into the goal square. CDM get a clearance on it. And that's a nice pass from Express, but Dumbo, he couldn't get a wheel to it, Korea.
Yeah, he's the man I think I'm going to be watching. I want to see if he will be consistently coming forward. We've had a strong start for him, but Love Deck struggling to break through the defense. Darksided so good in the midfield.
Off the crossbar. CGM doesn't get the clearance. The Shady, he's going to pass it back to himself. And now it's a little bit awkward to set up for anyone. The ball's going to go up in the air for CGM. He's trying to clear, but at the moment, Darksided have been keeping a wall along the halfway line.
Yeah, that's kind of their shtick. They stick this giant line across the middle of the field and say, hey, you're probably not going to cross this. If you do, we had enough time to see the telegraphed clear, and we can push it right back over, and we're going to fight you in your half.
Just like that, they're still there with Shady pushing it forward. See if anyone from Darksided can keep up the pressure, and just like that, it's Dumbo going from one end of the post to the other.
Yeah, if Darksided manages to get a demo, you're pretty much game overed because every single one of their players can get incredible angles. Express, one of the highest shot percentage. Shady was known as the sniper, and then Dumbo's been around since day dot, so he definitely has the skills.
They've stacked the decks against Love decks.
Yeah, ironic.
And they're down already 1-0. But have no fear, they did sweep Jam 3-0 in the previous game if you're just joining us now. And you can also vote in the poll, which we'll bring back up for you later on as the crossbar goes the ball. Dumbo waits there for it, right down to Shady. Where's Express? Is he looming somewhere? Can't see him just yet in your peripherals, but that's CGM with the clear. It's a bit scrappy. Gives Shady another chance. Going to go off the corner. As Dumbo needs the reverse. He's not in a position now. He is, and that's going to go right down to Shady. And he's going to go back the other way. He's just going to sit around the halfway mark. That's Express over to left-hand corner. Going to go up now to Shady, going towards the goals, but Adzi is there to clear.
And in that amount of time, we did see the Love Decks team manage to get the boost back, and this is an opportunity for them to get some defense, push forward to the dark side, because all these guys are scrambling.
Shady, slow there, but he's got Dumbo there to help him out as the ball moves forward. The dark side, they're in control. 1-0, looking good. Half of the clock has already faded, so Love Decks, they need to get a move on. They're doing all right so far. When you let that goal in early, Coria, the pressure starts to amount.
Yeah, Darkside are incredibly difficult to score against because they have players like Express who can play reactionary and sit back, Dumbo, who's exceptional at saves, and then Shady, who plays the whole pitch. If they want to just kind of camp it out and play incredibly safe and keep it a low-scoring game, it will be.
Decks do have the opportunity, has been in the half of Darksided in their defensive half for quite some time. The CGM is going to give another opportunity, but Dumbo comes across. It's going to be bounced back by Express. That's a little bit dangerous. Lucky Shady's there, but he can't get the full clearance because Adzi is waiting up along the wall. Goes down to CGM, and he gets it underneath Dumbo for the goal.
Yeah, he is the player that they need to utilize the most if they want to get through Darkside, and this is a wombo combo coming out. You have the Adzi CGM, great offense, and you need someone like that to punch through the Darkside defense.
Still plenty of time at the moment, just under 2 minutes, Corio. Both of these teams. Do you think it's going to go to overtime?
I think I have faith in Darkside. I reckon they're going to pull it right back around, but if Love Decks can keep this offensive, and the fact they've realized how to break through, does give them potential to steal this game.
Dex still had the ball, and Darksided's half. Dumbo needs to get the clearance, but he misses. That's another mistake from Darksided. Shady, he needs to get this clearance. He does. It's going to go over to the center of the pitch for Express. Let's tip it off to the right-hand side. Dumbo, that's a lot better for him, but CGM, he's giving a bit of the taste of his medicine. The Love Decks are staying at the halfway mark, and they've had a shot on the goal. Goes a bit too high, but CGM there, that's nice. He can pass it back to himself. Now it goes to the goal square, but no one's there. It's Express with the clearance.
And he has the follow-up as well, allowing himself to cheat forward and slowly build that midfield pressure. But if there is a team that is going to fight them in the midfield, they have Monty Connor, the man, the no-fun blanket, who lives in there and just ruins everything.
Goddamn blankets. We don't want it. It's summer. We have no point for blankets. Take them off. Let's go. Dumbo. He's going to bring it towards the goal square. It's going to go along the face of it. Adzi just needs to beat Shady, but Shady holds his ground. Now it's there. Monty Connor. And he can't get to it. It was touched by Express, which leaves it there for Shady. Adzi must need a touch. Stops the goal.
Yeah, but the third player of Darkside isn't ready for rotation and gets stuck, slowing the pitch pace a little bit as they now fumbled around on the right-hand side.
He's going to go up along the wall. It's Dumbo. Darksided looking for this goal. This would be a great time to do it with less than 20 seconds remaining. Make that 15. As Express still looking for that opportunity, but Adzi doing a good job staying around the halfway mark to keep the ball in the offensive half for Love Decks. CGM goes off to the right-hand side, but plenty of the dark side members are back. All they want to do is keep this ball down, keep it away from their defensive half. Now they've got an opportunity as well. It's going to be in the goal square, but with CGM touching the ball, it will take it to overtime.
Yeah, Love Decks, such great play going into this game, going against the Titans that is Darksided, the team that sweeps everybody on their unrelenting path forward, and they've taken them to the overtime. So Love Decks, maybe the internet was all they needed.
Both of these teams stacking up nicely now. Game number 1 in the first of the series of 3. After Lovedex went 3-0 against Jam, and now they're taking on the big dogs, Darksided, who are currently ranked #1 in league play. They only dropped 1 game, and that was a simple physics. And they're not dropping any games just yet today because they just take it 2-1 in the first game.
Yep, great performance so far by Lovedex, but holding out Darksided for the entire time, getting to overtime in itself, good achievement, but I'm unsurprised that they could clean it out.
Yeah, I was happy with Lovedex. How
Yeah,
do
me
you feel
too.
about them so far?
No, I'm very happy. If you can fight Darkside when they're playing relatively well, you're in a good spot.
So, with Dumbo getting 325 points right up the top. Saves, goals, and only 1 shot was missed. I think he played quite well that game.
Yeah, he felt a little bit more confident. We saw in the beginning he was still warming into it, but when he feels confident to go forward, it allows the team to have those beautiful rotations, and he can rely on his teammates. We do know that Shady can comfortably come back. Express, when he was playing in the last roster, loved to be the most reactionary player, sometimes coming forward to finish with his great accuracy, and having Dumbo move forward really is a showcase of what they can do.
Yeah, we keep talking about Express. Do you think he's going to be the man to have a big 2018?
I definitely think he's a key contender. He could be one of the Kamis that are going to be coming forward.
And they take on Chiefs later on today, so that's where he could have his moment to shine, but they have to get through Lovedex first, which hasn't been no easy feat just yet. Already going into overtime. I expect the same. I reckon it's going to be another overtime, either 1-1 or 0-0.
Yeah, I reckon it's not a crazy thought. Not a crazy thought. And if they're having this much difficulty against Lovedex, and Chiefs were playing very good yesterday, nice change from the week before, they could be in trouble.
Yeah, I'm keen to see. I still got my faith in you, Lovedex. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. I don't want to have to unfollow all 3 of you on Twitter, all right? Let's go. Kicking off, back again, Lovedex, Darksided. 1 game so far for Darksided.
You are a fickle man for backing a team about love.
I'm all about the love. Here we go, Express. That could be early. It's an early goal for Express.
It's it looked like the slowest Devo. Let's just get a little bit of a recap. Nope, he's just taking the angle shot. Didn't come off that backboard, but it is a finish for Darksided, getting that first goal.
Yeah, we've seen this a couple of times throughout the league play where teams are a little bit slow to begin with off the kickoff, and a team sneaks a goal in the first 20 or so seconds.
Yeah, it's been interesting. The kickoff plays in OCE sometimes evolve. Sometimes we like to play a little bit greedy, and consequently, it can go that way.
Lovedex, they've got the pressure against them again. Last time they did convert it 1-1, but they couldn't finish the job in overtime. Let's see what they can do this time around as Adzi, Monty Connor, scrapping over the ball. Express gets through both of them to clear it, but now they've got another opportunity, and with that demo, that's going to allow Adzi to get the goal.
That is how Darksided loses games. When people realize that their rotations are very, very tight, it's too difficult to break through without consistent consecutive shots. It's much easier just to destroy one of the players and create a huge opening.
This time around, Lovedex got a goal converted within about 30 seconds of that Darksided goal, so they got plenty of time to take the lead.
Ooh, Dumbo doing some good push, though. He doesn't want them to take the lead. He's like, nah, we're living back in your half. That was too scary.
Yeah, let's see if they can get any more demos and stop those rotations from Darksided. But at the moment, Darksided put the ball in Lovedex's offensive half. CGM, he can't get the clearance. It's Shady, bringing it in front of the goals. And Monty Connor is a little bit flat-wheeled, and this could be deadly, but nicely done by Adzi. He's the man to save the ball. They get another attempt, but Monty Connor gets another touch. That's moving forward. Shady. He does the exact same on the opposite side to get a defensive touch.
Yeah, Darkside turning this into a pass play. Finish shot coming from Dumbo. We talk about again and again, when he comes forward, it goes well for them. And here we see it stealing the lead.
And we kept talking about Shady, we kept talking about Express, but it's Dumbo, I feel, in this series, he's the man who's grabbing that Olympic torch and running with it.
Yeah, he certainly is. And I think another way to look at this game as well is that they have such a strong midfield presence. It's shutting down CJM, who just ran away with so many games through league play. If you look over to his shots, when the little panel will eventually come up, you'll see he's barely at 1.
CGM, he missed another clearance. This is costly for Lovedex, because you don't want to do that around Shady and Express, because they've been setting up Dumbo throughout the game. He's just put the ball forward, but he does get bounced back. Adzi, he's been good on the defense so far, I feel, Choreo, but they need a lot more from CGM.
Yeah, it's hard. When you're going up against Darkseid, you don't get a lot of opportunities, but here, he finds them, and when you do, you got to take them.
That's the commentator curse right there. So thank you very much, CGM, proving Bobby J wrong. So you're back in the good books, mate. Love Dex, square it up 2-2.
Much needed 2-2, because Love Dex, they are in the running to break into that gauntlet. They just need 2 wins, and they're in. So if they can take down Darkseid in the remaining 2 games, they're safe.
There's plenty of time in the clock, so a little bit of defensive mistakes so far. It's been the all offense from both of these 2 sides. As Express puts the ball forward, can't get it past the halfway mark. Shady waits for it. Now it's going to scoop it up, bring it along the wall. Nice dribble. CJM, that's a lot better. That's a big clearance to the other side. But Shady gets up high for it. Now Express gets the touch towards the goal. Shady trying to get down, but he can't get any rebounds from it. But it will be Darksided still keeping the pressure on. Shady misses that. That allows Adzi to bring it up the other side. Darksided need to get back on the defense. They do a good job. They had some boost remaining in the tank to help it out. Monty Connor, he stops in the way to stop the ball. Adzi goes up high. Can't get enough on that clearance. Courier, 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Both teams looking for this goal still.
Yeah, Adzi still trying to find that clearance. CJM looking for another opportunity to push his team forward, but Darkseid, as they slowly use up their boost, are continuing to pressure.
There goes Express. That's a good setup, but CJM, he cuts straight through, and that's going right towards the goal. And just when we thought it could have been Darksided converting, it's Love Dex.
The greed has come out, and CJM going for that monster punish. You can see there was nobody in sight. Even if he couldn't make the full distance, Adzi could have made the run.
You're talking about the rotations from Darksided getting caught out, and they got caught out again, having all 3 members forward.
Yeah, I guess there's maybe an adjustment period when Dumbo moves forward. They are kind of struggling to see who's going to be in third.
Oh, look at that touch from Adzi over the top. Look at that. That's a pass touched twice in the air. Let's take a look at the replay.
Yeah, CJM from the back of the pitch is setting up some beautiful shots. An interesting thing about Love Dex, it's not their offense that you normally have to worry about. Their shot percentage across the entire board is fantastic. It's the defense that they normally fall down on, and on that, they've been doing okay.
Oh, wait, so you and Yummy are back here together on the desk and whip out those stats and take a look, but we still have 1 minute and 45 seconds. Don't count out Darksided just yet. They've still got time to get 2 goals, but with Monty Connor taking a shot and rebounding, it could be another, but CGM can't get to it. It's Dumbo with the clearance. With Adzi waiting at the halfway line. Express, he needs to make something work here. Can't connect up the pass to Shady, allow CGM to get a hold of the ball. Down to Monty Connor. It's still looming in the middle of the pitch. Darksided need to convert soon, but they don't have control of the ball just yet unless Shady can do something with it. CJM to the other end. Darksided still have 2 members trying to fight over the ball. Monty Connor stopping them both. CGM with a nice little touch, a little bit sneaky, but Shady, he passes to himself. Can he finish? Monty Connor denies him.
Yeah, no boost, so he couldn't do anything too tricky, and Monty Connor loves living in that area, so he was playing straight to his strengths.
1 minute remaining. Time is not on the side of Darksided. Express taking the ball. They're doing well, Love Dex. They are tackling Darksided every time they go for a run and look for a pass. Not being able to complete too much as the ball goes up into the corner. Dumbo looking for it, goes over his head. Adzi lets it roll past, so it's Express. Nice touch. Can't beat Monty Connor. He's going to be denied. Adzi misses the ball. It'll allow Shady for the clearance. Now he can try to set it up for someone else. Going to go to the corner. Can't get to it. Adzi takes it up high. Dumbo's still there. It's going to be drifting in the air. No one from Darksided's nearby except for Shady. Now it goes back down towards the ground. Express trying to get it past the halfway mark. Dumbo to Express, but that's Adzi coming out of nowhere in the air to stop him.
Yeah, Love Dex playing so fast to halt the Darksided aggression. Hey, if you can't beat them on the rotation, sometimes the next best thing is to move so fast that you force the errors.
4, 3. You can pretty much just say Love Dex has the deck this time around. 4-2 as soon as this touches the ground. Yeah, we'll just wait for that one. So 4-2, Love Dex. Nicely done. And this one's far from over yet. We're 1-1 in the series.
Yeah, Love Dex have a real potential to take this one out and guarantee that qualification for them, which would leave Darksided in a sad spot, because even though they've got through, they're pushing for first.
The Darksided started off strong in this series. They got the first goal, then Love Dex converted, then Darksided got another one, and then as I was criticizing CJM, he leveled up 2-2, and maybe they just channeled that energy like Goku, and they just took the ball and just literally ran with it.
Yeah, they spirit bombed them. Yeah, so it's pretty harsh. The defense of Love Decks that's been coming together over the course of this tournament, I think, is a testament to why they're doing so well. Again, all their players are excellent shooters. So most of them running above the high 30s, low 40s in percentage. So excellent shots. And if they just cleaned up that defense, which we saw, they can take out the best.
And they stopped. Dumbo was the problem maker. We saw him always coming towards the end and converting a goal. I felt like they were shutting him out. And you saw in Darksided were trying to pass the ball around. I noticed they were just contesting them Love Decks. They didn't let any passing happening through the midfield.
Yeah, and as Love Decks started to contest them more and more, it forced the players from Darkside to be more aggressive, and that opened them up for those huge clears that we did see come through twice from CJM that led to goals.
Do you think Darksiders just need to keep working on their rotations and not get caught out like they did before?
So even though if those 2 goals didn't come through, the score would be 2 apiece. So Love Decks would still be holding them at the line.
Yeah. Well, we'll soon find out. It is close. It's 1-1. You can also vote on our Twitch poll, so make sure you do that because it's deadlocked here. We want to hear your opinion. Let's go. We're kicked off once again. So Love Decks have scored more goals in the series. That's one thing to note, Coria.
Yeah, and they're coming out strong. They are a team that has great shots, so if you give them opportunities, conversions will come through.
That could be early. Darksided have scored early within the first minute each time as well. Express, Shady, they're usually the playmakers. Let's see where Dumbo is at. It's Express still in the midway point of the pitch. CJM needs to get that save. It will go over to his left-hand side. Monty Connor tries to push it down the wing. Shady can't get enough on it. It is anyone's ball up in the air. So that's Dumbo just waiting for it. Express going to put it over, but there's no one there for the ball. Easy clearance for Monty Connor.
Yeah, pushing deep into the side of Darksided, allowing CJM now some wiggle room to go for that play. It's a scary place to be, and now they have a demo and they're doing the 2v2. I wouldn't want to be Darksided.
A lot slower than we have the previous 2 games. Maybe the pace of the last 2 have just kept these teams out of breath. Or they're just being very defensive, Coria.
Playing a little bit safe as the backboard comes through, but Express quick off the ground as always. Starting pass plays with Darksided, but Love Decks fast off the ground have been doing some excellent intercepts.
That's a good clearance from Dumbo, but he can't get it to Shady because Monty Connor came straight through the guts. But the offensive play is now here for Darksided. If they can keep this ball forward, Dumbo to Express, but he can't get it down further enough. The angle was very difficult.
Yeah, and the follow-up just wasn't there because the defense of Love Decks came through. They're so quick off the ground. Again, we see them beating out Darksided to the air. So even though they set up the demolition in advance, they can't do anything off it.
Oh, Shady. He couldn't get it. That was very close. Adzi, he hit the post so they can breathe a sigh of relief, Darksided. Now they have their opportunity, but Dumbo can't get to the ball. They cut him off. Nicely done. Shady now takes it. He's trying to follow up, but Adzi's there waiting, beats the man, but they still have numbers, Darksided, to keep the offensive pressure up. But CGM, if they can push this on the other side, they have men here to work with Love Decks because Darksided were caught out. Lucky enough, the play slows down and they can reset.
Yeah, Monty Connor does have full boost, and that missed touch from Darksided means has the opportunity to run or pass. Even though they may have got it into the corner, they're not down and out.
It's still here for Adzi. If he wants to get up for it, he's going to go up along the wall. Good touch, looking for CJM, but he can't beat Dumbo to the ball, but it's still there for Adzi as it bounces back off into the center. Both teams still playing around the ball during the midfield. There hasn't been that many shots this game.
Yeah, Express taking out Monty Connor, slowing it down, making it a 2v2, trying to create some space for his teammates to get it out and stop the plays of Love Decks.
Well, CJM gets very close, but there were Darksided members waiting in the goal. They could smell that coming from a mile away. As Adzi takes the shot, Express was caught out. That's going to make it 1-0.
You can see that they're starting to feel the pressure. Express thinking he had the time, opts to go for the boost rather than to go for the defense, and because of that, left the goal open.
Love Decks taking it to the team ranked #1 at the moment in league play here at the Throwdown OCE Open. Could this be the new favorite?
No, I mean, it's definitely going to be your new favorite on the Scout for Best Friends after dropping Daisu.
Oh,
but I think this is going to be a great time for them. If they can win this, not only do they qualify, they get the confidence of knowing they took out the top seed, and they can defend against it too.
Man, there it goes. Express bounced it off. They couldn't get any rebounds there. Love Decks. Just taking a look at the replay. Let's see what happened. It was off the crossbar, and Shady went up nice and high, and that angle just too much to deal with for CGM.
Yeah, and it was a difficult one to try to defend, knowing that you have a 2v1 situation. Whole of the team of Love Decks pushed off to the far left.
Still 1 minute and 40 seconds. That's still time for either side to get a goal and avoid overtime. We already went through that in game number 1, and it took about a minute or so during that overtime as Express, he gets a good shot. It's up in the air, but Adzi can deal with it. Goes to the halfway line. Easy for Shady. Now he's going to wait for the rebound to himself and almost gets it. A juggle between the post and CGM, but Dumbo gets that second shot. This is always deadly because Darksided, once they start getting these rebounds, it's hard for Love Decks to deal with.
You can see they have so much respect for them now. Darksided rotating 2 players back, saying, hey, we can't afford to have another situation where CGM scores off the clear.
Still a minute. Still a minute. The teams will be sweating those controllers slipping in their hands, but who can keep a grip on this game? Who can stay focused because it's less than a minute to go as Express takes it off the crossbar. That's a bit of a... Oh, Shady, I thought he was going to get it there. I was building up to it, Corey, but he just missed the shot.
Love Decks, though, may not miss the follow-up as they now push around, stealing it from Dumbo, opening up the goal, and the clear is not big enough.
It's the ball, halfway line. Be cleared by Darksided. Now can they push their offensive players forward? Shady can't get to it. Express needs to be the man to clear. Holds his ground. No one can get to it. It's Adzi up high. CGM, he finds the ball. It's going to go over. It's Shady who beats Adzi to it. Left-hand side is going to be the point of attack for Darksided, but they can't get too much. The defense has been good for Love Decks. Avoiding that Darksided onslaught. The time's ticking down. We're going to get towards overtime. Or will someone get it towards the end? A goal! It hits the crossbar again. There must be magnets in this ball along with that crossbar because it's not getting into the back of the net.
Final touch by CJM, freeing them up, allowing them one final play, but overtime and well earned from Love Decks.
From both of these two sides, because Love Decks, the ones who scored first. So, let's see what's going to happen. Something's got to break. One goal separates either of these teams walking away with more games in the series, and Love Decks walking in to the gauntlet. They're doing a fantastic job against Darksided, who've only dropped one game, and that was just simple physics on day 2. So 25 seconds so far, and overtime is Dumbo. He's just hovering with the ball. Monty kind of takes it away from the halfway mark. Adzi there, but he's trying to get past Shady. This is a good position for Love Decks, but CJM, he misses an opportunity. Adzi still waits in the corner, but you can see the Darksided members rallying. They can sense that goal, Courier.
But Monty Connor trying to turn it around, flip it back to their side, and try build something of his own.
Adzi follows the ball along to the goal square, takes the shot's not going to go too far. And CGM, he waits for it. It's going to go towards the goal square. Dumbo comes along, cuts it off. Express trying to get the clearance. They're struggling for boosts at the moment. And CGM finds Adzi. They need to get some players working together, Love Decks, because they haven't been able to follow up on their shots.
Yep, Dumbo with a great read, but can't get the follow-up. Both players committing, but the huge clear coming out will allow Darkseid to now push forward if they can just get some follow-up.
There you go, CGM. That's a shot on goal, but Dumbo waits for it. Now it's going to go up along the wall. He'll get a second touch. Going to follow that one along. Montecano waits at the halfway mark. So does Express. This can be the chance for Darksided, except CGM. He stands up, gets the clearance. Dumbo does the exact same. Each team going back and forth, grinding this one out, but Shady, he will go up high, aims down towards the goal, but CGM with another clearance.
It is a hard push defense from Love Decks as they're trying to break through and get another chance at Darksided, but with a greedy clear from the Darksided team, they now have opportunity.
Back and forth between the two. No one wants to give an inch. It's Dumbo. He misses it, but leaves it for Express to try and follow it up. Now it's Dumbo with a good touch, but he gets contested, so he can't get a good pass to anyone down in the goal square. It's still up there, but CGM, he'll get it down to Adzi, but they've left it a little bit too long, so it's a scrappy clearance. So it's going to stay around the halfway mark for Shady to bring it across. Now it's up there. Express will trying to get himself in a position to chase onto this ball as it bounces down right in front of the face of the goals. Passes along to the halfway mark. Now it's going forward towards the goal square, but they get the clearance, Love Decks. And this has been ticking some time in overtime.
Yeah, brutal clearance for them to get, breaking through the pressure of Darksided, who have kept them locked in their half for a good 30 seconds. Now they have the opportunity to get boost before the next onslaught begins.
Bounces off the wall. Darksided gonna get back with Dumbo. Needs to turn around. Needs to be careful because Adzi pushes him off the ball. They do have Shady to give a little touch to it, but Monty Connor waits, but he has Dumbo in his face. Will beat him. Goes up. Express. That's an awkward touch. Goes down to CJM. Shady, that's nice work. He will contest Monty Connor as well, and that will allow Dumbo to touch the ball. Goes towards the goal, but they still have members back. Love Dex. Still anyone's game.
Yeah, Love Decks are fighting so hard to make this guaranteed gauntlet qualifications. We're seeing it impacting Darkside. They don't want to go too aggressive, backing out of some of these potential 50-50s, showing them the respect that they've earned.
Yeah, CGM definitely has my respect. I had a little go at him earlier on, but he's been standing tall this game so far with some beautiful defensive play from his own half to the midfield. But there's still a goal remaining here. Someone needs to break the deadline, as it could be anyone. It's at 4 minutes. Dumbo, he can't get it, but it will be Shady. Monty Connor has the shot. That was the closest attempt so far in overtime.
Dumbo, great defensive player, now watching out, but running out of boost with only 9 left in the tank. It's hard to go for these follow-ups in the midfield if they want to score.
Dumbo off the wall from the right-hand wing. Adzi brings it to the halfway line. Shady waits for it. Well, let's see what you can do, Shady. Can you set something up? It's CJM waiting at the corner, just back and forth between the two teams. Is Express, that's a little bit difficult to deal with for him, but Dumbo does a good job. Adzi comes flying through the center, gets another touch. 2 people have surrounded him. That's going to leave an opening now for Monty Connor to bring it down, but Express does a good job up the guts in his own defensive half, and he's going to follow the ball up. Now, can he bring it all the way? It's CJM to deny him.
We're now seeing them turn right back around. This goal is open so incredibly close for Love Decks. That was a heartbreaker. You can see the heart falling out of Bobby J's chest.
Oh, man. Please stay in. And that's the ball going in. Darksided. They're going to shatter the dreams of Love Decks. They're going to break the deadlock. 2-1. Nicely done.
What a heart-wrenching finish. Adzi so close to blocking the final touch as well. But for Darkside, a critical 2-1, allowing them some security at the top of the ladder.
Look, you may have lost Love Decks, but you're not going to lose my friendship. You're not going to lose my respect. You did a fantastic job. This went down to the wire. This was well over 4 minutes in overtime. I think I hit like the 5-minute mark. And look at everyone was up there on the scoreboard. A lot of people taking multiple shots. Look at that. Express 7, Shady 7, CGM 4, Monty Connor 4. Everyone was participating in this game. Yummy. What were you thinking, mate?
I just love that overtime. It didn't matter about the rest of the entire series. Yeah. That overtime was great. We almost saw an entire another game in that overtime, but it just showed how classy both of these teams were. They cleaned up their play. They looked really good on the defense. And Darksided pulled that out in the end, but Love Decks, I think, are in a spot where they're almost confirmed.
I really want Love Decks to make it through now because I want to see what they do through the gauntlet run. If they can go against Darksided, who I think at this point we can say are confidently top team, maybe top 2 depending on Chiefs on the day.
We'll find out very soon because they verse Chiefs right next up, boys.
We've got, and what we see after this series is Love Decks and Jam Gaming are going to be sitting there watching the rest of the day. And in particular, I think the match that they're going to have to really wait for is the last match of the day. So they're going to be waiting and waiting because I think it's Retirement Home that'll be the ones that maybe bring up the tie or take them out.
Yeah, like Conspiracy last year, just sitting there in 5th place, being like, maybe we get 4th. Please, can the numbers align, the stars align, everything else.
Well, we'll soon get back into business and talk about Chiefs and Darksided, which will be up next. But before we cut to the break, please go to throwdownesports.com. Check out all the amateur and pro competitions we have. We have the Throwdown Weekly Cup every week, and then we have the OCE Throwdown Rocket League Championship starting early next month. So please go sign up, win some cash. There's plenty to go around. We'll see you after the break.